This is our very first video on our new channel, Road Performance. Some of you might know us as Scooby Works or SGS Automotive, which up until now has been our main channel. But we've recently rebranded and expanded what we do. Same team, same passion for Subarus and performance cars, just under a new name, and now covering all makes and models. Today we've got a Subaru Impreza in with a nasty vibration and vague shimmering steering. On the test drive it felt fairly normal at low speeds, but once we picked up the pace there was noticeable vibrations that definitely needed looking into. It's recently had a new steering rack fitted, so there's a chance the alignment wasn't quite right, but we also found a simple smoking gun cause behind it all. We've learned over the years not to overlook the obvious, so we checked the wheel balance, dialed in the alignment and addressed the real culprit that we found. A straightforward fix, and now it drives absolutely spot on. Let's get into it and show you exactly what's going on with this Impreza. So today we've got this Subaru in that's recently had a steering rack and something's not quite dialed in at the minute. The customer says that the steering just doesn't feel right and there is a vibration. So we're not going to ignore the obvious, and the first thing we're going to do is make sure all the wheel balance is correct, and then we're going to get it on the alignment rig and check the alignment's correct. They're the first two things. Normally when it's had the work done and that work done, you would say that'll be right and move on to look at other things, but what we don't want to do is end up in a position where we bypass the obvious, spend more time looking at other things and it turns out to be something simple. So let's get it so we can get the wheels off and get them all checked on the wheel balancer. So we've taken the driver's front wheel off and I think I've found a smoking gun that could possibly be the problem. Let's show you. First thing that we found was there's no spigot ring on the alloy. As soon as we undid the last wheel nut, I saw the wheel drop a few mil and I knew straight away then that there'd be no spigot ring, and straight away that does cause issues. So we're going to have to organise a set of spigot rings, but we're going to check the wheel balance as well and the alignment and obviously make sure that's all correct. So we're starting with the offside front wheel. Let's see whether or not it's out of balance. 15 and 15, not horrendous, but obviously it is out. So we're going to remove all the old weights and rebalance. So 15 and 25. There we go, perfect balance on the offside front. So we have managed to get a set of spigot rings, so we can actually complete this job this evening. So after balancing the offside front wheel, we've fitted a new spigot ring in there which will centralise the wheel and hopefully stop the shimmer the customer's feeling. They're a very tight fit these, so we've used a rubber mallet and a bush pressing cone just to get those in nice and snug. As you can see, nice snug fit, and that will centralise the wheel on the hub and hopefully cure the issue that the customer has. You can see now, I've left the centre cap out to show you. You can see the white spigot ring which is centralising the wheel correctly, and that should stop any shimmering or vibrations that the customer's feeling at, I think he said it was around 70 miles an hour. So that's the wheel back on, the spigot ring fitted, and the wheel nuts torqued up. Let's get on and get the other three wheels done so we can get onto the alignment. So let's get the driver's side rear wheel spun up and see whether or not this one's out as well. Again, only 15 on one side, but it's enough. If the customer's complaining of shimmering, combination of wheel balance, missing spigots, all can contribute towards it. So we've taken, I've missed some. Once it's done spinning, I just need to take a couple more weights off that I'd missed. When you're balancing a wheel, you should never just stick weights on to balance it. You end up counterbalancing, which is having weights opposite other weights, which is not the way to do it. All the weights should be removed, and then you should spin the wheel again to get a true reading of the balance, and then stick your weights on that are required. I do see a lot of shops counterbalance. I'm guessing they're just run-of-the-mill tyre shops that don't really look into doing the job as properly as they should. We try and do everything exactly as it should be. This wheel did actually have a spigot ring on, so it'd be interesting to see if we find any on any of the other two wheels. But I'm going to fit the new set of 4 so they're all matching. There we go, 0 again on the balance, a perfect reading. I'm just going to show you how tight a fit these are. So obviously we place it in and try and get it level. You try and do this as you would fit a wheel bearing, so try and keep it level all the way around, otherwise you could end up damaging it and cockling it. And then to make it go in nicely, it's a bit difficult, but a few knocks with a rubber mallet, and that has got the spigot ring seated lovely. We've got the wheel sat on a bin, but we have got a kneeling mat on there to protect the face of the wheel on the top of the bin. Again, we'll get the wheel back on and tighten all the studs up, or nuts should we say, and then we will finish by torquing them all up to 110 Newton meters. We're using a Milwaukee buzz gun, which does stop when they get tight, so you don't over tighten them. Most of the modern Milwaukee guns do that. And when you're torquing your wheels up, you should go across on your studs. Do the opposite one and go in a star pattern. That's them all tightened up. We can then put the centre cap back in, and that's the driver's side done. So now let's get the passenger side done. So this is the passenger side rear wheel. Let's see what reading we get off this one. This one's only out by 10, but again, this one was missing its spigot ring. The spigot ring is probably as important as the wheel balance. Pretty much every time that we've had an issue with vibration, shimmering, things that you would normally associate with wheel balance, and the balancing being sorted and the issue not going away, it tends to be spigot rings, missing spigot rings. I've had it a few times, which is why as soon as I took the front wheel off on this Subaru, I pretty much put it down to the spigot rings. But obviously you don't want to replace the spigot rings but not check the wheel balance and the other things that could be contributing factors. I think the customer on this job has been chasing this problem. He's had a steering rack fitted. Now whether there's anything wrong with the old steering rack or not, I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that potentially it was the spigot rings all along and potentially some wheel balance, and it may not have needed a steering rack. Obviously I can't be 100% sure on that. There could have been an issue with the rack as well, but that's something that I won't know, and I don't think the customer will be able to find out either. And obviously the original workshop that did the steering rack are always going to say there was an issue with it. So that one is now balanced up perfectly as well. So we'll get a spigot ring fitted in this wheel, and then we'll get it back on the car and all torqued up. So again, this is the passenger front wheel, and we're missing a spigot ring. So we did have one on the whole car that was just on the driver's side rear. Obviously now it's going back together with a full set of 4. Let's see if this wheel's out as well. We've only had minor 15 grams and below balancing issues on these wheels. This one actually balances up perfect, but for my OCD I'm going to take the old weights off so that when the customer, if he ever checks round or anything, he's got all brand new black wheel weights on and everything matches. I do have OCD, obviously we're charging the customer for this work, so I'd like to just take the weights off and rebalance. So we're 15 and 40. These wheels are in very good condition, so inside they're nice and clean, they're not rusty or corroded. We just literally need to clean off the dirt, and then that leaves us with a nice shiny finish for us to stick as weights on. The last thing you want is the weights that we put on to be coming off. There we go. So all the wheels are now balanced perfectly. So now we just need to fit the final spigot ring in this, get the wheel back on, and we're on to the alignment. So one final thing that you should always do before doing an alignment on a vehicle is check the tyre pressures. If your tyre pressures are not right, obviously that can cause it to pull and cause issues and the car to sit not level if the pressures are so far out, but minor amounts are not going to cause an issue doing the actual alignment, but they may cause it to pull afterwards even if the alignment's correct. So if you're doing the alignment, it's always better to do the pressures because it can save a customer coming back with an issue that isn't down to anything other than the pressures. And if you haven't done the pressures before an alignment, to be honest with you, you're asking to give yourself problems. It's just good practice to do it. I mean, both of these were more or less right on the front. Just moving to the rear now. They're all needing minimum top up of like 1-2 psi. Again, this one, I've got a digital gauge, so I'm getting them absolutely perfect to 0.1 of a psi. I just want to make sure that when the customer comes to collect the vehicle, everything is perfect. There we go, that one just needed half a psi. So we're now going to get the vehicle set up on our alignment system. We use 4 stands and turn plates on all 4 wheels. Apologies for the noise, that will be very loud over the microphone. If you don't use turn plates, again, your alignment's likely not to be as accurate as it should be. The alignment may not even be out, but it's something that we really need to check and investigate just to make sure. So you settle the vehicle on the turn plates, and then apply the handbrake. That stops the car from rolling off. And then on this vehicle, we need to clamp the steering wheel off as you do on them all. We use a spirit level when clamping the steering wheel off just to ensure that it is clamped straight. We also use a foam pad to protect the seat when we're using the clamp. And I just need the key, which is on here. Just need to release the steering lock. So the key needs to be in the vehicle. And now we can clamp the steering wheel off. I did notice that the steering wheel was ever so slightly to the left on the test drive. So I am trying to align this perfectly in the centre of the spirit level bubble. There we go. So the steering wheel is now clamped off perfectly straight. We use a Super Tracker computer alignment system. It's quite an expensive alignment system. And we need to set it for 18-inch wheels. On the clamping arms, second notch. And that clamps nicely on the tyre. And you just need to level the head so the light in the middle of the gauge is on green. Just turn the system on. So while we're putting the gauges on, it can be setting up. So we now have the Super Tracker system on. If we go into Subaru, click next. Go down to WRX, click next. And STI, this is a 2016 model, which is the correct one, WRX STI 2016. We can now tell it has 18-inch wheels. So on the rear, it is bang central for the tolerance. It's pretty much perfect for the rear toe on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, it's just out of tolerance. So I'm going to go in and adjust that and get it as close to 0 as we can. So then if we take a look, the front should be level track, so a 0 toe, and it's on plus 1.2 on the passenger side and minus 0.7 on the driver's side. So it's not a long way out, but it is out, so we're going to get that set up for the customer. So when it leaves here, it has a new set of 4 spigot rings, it has perfect wheel balance and a perfect alignment. So we've been under the rear and set the rear, that is now perfect. Time to move on to the front. And there we've also got the front set perfectly, so this alignment is now absolutely dialed in. So that wraps up the work on the Subaru Impreza. We balanced all 4 wheels and set the wheel alignment, and the real smoking gun for me turned out to be the 3 missing spigot rings. I'm confident that was causing the vibration and the steering issues, and I'd say it's now driving exactly as it should. In the back of my mind though, I can't help wondering, was that steering rack that was fitted elsewhere really needed, or was it just the missing spigot rings all along? I guess we'll never know, but hopefully the customer's happy and now it's fully dialed in. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Make sure to like, subscribe and follow us for more diagnostic and performance content right here on Road Performance. See you on the next one.